What is up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to play Colt. Colt was in a bit of a rut for a while after Piper released, but quickly became one of the most used brawlers in the game when he got a buff to his range and bullet speed last August. In September, he received a health buff as well, which only farther solidified his place in high-level gameplay. He doesn't have a lot of HP, but he outputs a lot of damage and is capable of doing all the area denial you could possibly need. In Heist, Colt's almost essential. You're going to be using his long range and fast bullet speed to hold down certain areas of the map on defense and to lay down a push that's nearly impossible to stop on offense, not to mention that his super is destructive, so you can clear an easy path to the safe on offense or clear out unwanted obstacles on defense. He works well in almost every team because he can fit into almost every role if necessary. In Smash and Grab, Colt's also very powerful. The large amount of time each attack takes to complete, coupled with the damage it can possibly output if every bullet hits, means that you're going to find yourself able to provide most of the area denial your team's going to need to stay at the mine for the entire game. You can play defensively or you can play aggressively. Either way works, but make sure you're not holding the gems if you can possibly avoid it. The one thing Colt can't do is defend himself well up close. Showdown's a pretty good game mode for Colt. He's got a good attack and super for most situations, and if you get a few power-ups or teammates at the beginning of the match, you'll almost always go far pretty easily. As long as you're checking bushes relatively far away so you don't get randomly jumped by a bull or primo, you should be good to go. Finally, in Bounty, Colt is great as well. He boasts a huge amount of long-range damage, which is the main thing you're looking for in Bounty. His attacks go well with other long-range brawlers, his super closes out kills easily, and he has a little more HP now, so he doesn't have to worry as much about burst damage from Piper. All in all, this is Colt's best game mode. Everything he has to offer makes him better in Bounty. The best strategy with Colt is usually to be extremely aggressive at all times. He's an extremely powerful brawler on his own with absolutely no support. Once you master predictive firing, which is basically when you fire where the enemy looks like they're running to as opposed to where they currently are, you'll have a ridiculously high win rate. We'll discuss predictive firing in more depth in a future strategy video. Basically, you're going to be starting fights whenever you can. Colt has a super that can easily take out an entire enemy team if they're all in line, so you have no reason to take things slow. Colt's basically a glass cannon and is meant to be used for his firepower, not his survivability. Now let's go over a few brawlers that Colt does well with. In Heist, Colt should definitely be paired up with brawlers that can tank shots for him or lob attacks over obstacles. Brawlers like Primo and Bull go well in the first role, and brawlers like Barley and Dynamite go well in the second. In Smash and Grab, you're going to need brawlers that can confidently carry the gems, because as Colt, you're going to want to avoid carrying them at all costs. This means Mortis or Crow as far as mobility-oriented brawlers are concerned, or Bull, Primo, and Shelly for more tanky and close-range options. Lastly, in Bounty, you're going to want to stick to long-range teammates most of the time. Other than some niche strategies, this is going to mean Piper, Brock, and to a lesser extent, Ricochet. So let's say you really enjoy Colt, but you don't have the elixir to max him out. In what order should you upgrade him? Colt's attack is hands down his biggest asset, and upgrading it should be your first priority because at max level, you get plus 20 damage per bullet. This brings you to a whopping 100 damage per bullet, which is a fantastic multiplier considering the amount of bullets you're going to be shooting with every single attack. The potential damage output is insanely high. Next up, you should probably max out his HP. Colt has a relatively low starting HP at only 700, so getting that extra 175 HP at max level for a total of 875 HP definitely helps mitigate the damage you take. Finally, go ahead and max out his super. Colt's super is amazing, it charges quickly, and you're going to want it to be maxed out as soon as physically possible. Honestly, it's a bit of a toss-up as to whether or not you're going to be maxing HP second and super third. You could very easily switch the two if you find yourself preferring extra damage to additional HP. But yeah, guys, that's going to be about it for this one. To vote on next week's Brawler Guide, head on over to my Twitter, which is linked down in the description below, and vote in the poll, which will be pinned at the top of the page. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to see you back here for the next video very, very shortly. And until the next one, guys, peace.